Hello, everybody. This is Rishita Balkundi, and I'm a product intern working with SRA, Service Reporting and Analytics team. And this video is a demonstration of the workflows that I've tried on Databricks. Databricks is a platform where you can perform data analysis for big data. So you can directly pull data from different sources, process it, and ingest it into DBFS, which is Databricks native file system, or to any external storage. So let's look at some of the workflows that I've tried. So this is the first workflow that we have tried, where we are creating a table and then running the script. With this script, you can pull the data from an API, process it. If you want, you can add new columns and then write to the destination table, which is this particular table that we've created here. Let's go through this briefly. The execution begins here in main. Before that, we have imported a few libraries and functions. When you execute main function in a loop, you're getting data from this get block function. Let's go to get block function. Here, we are creating a header until this point and then sending a HTTP request to the URL which we are creating here, and then we are getting the response and extracting the data into a dictionary file from the JSON format and returning it. So if I equals 1, data has the dictionary format of export1.json file. And then we are creating a data frame, and then we are doing a merge. Merge function basically does an upsert. That means if the condition is met, we are updating it. Otherwise, we are inserting the data. So number is acting as a primary key, and then we are using that to see if the row with this particular number already exists. If yes, then we are updating it. Otherwise, we are inserting it. This is just a helper function which can be used to create one of the key value pairs and headers. After the function runs, we can know how many rows are there in that. It is, as you can see, it is populated. It has about 2,50,000 rows. Then the second workflow is we're importing files which are stored in Azure Blob Storage. Uh, so this is also the same location that we have used to pull data and use it as an API. Here, we are using dbutils.fs, which is Databricks utilities for file systems. We are specifying the source location and the mount point, which is the target location in dbfs, which is Databricks native file system. And in extra configs, we are sending the token and the key that's there here, which is useful for making the connection successful. Once this is done, we can go to data, dbfs, and then mount. Where is it? In demo. As you can see, we already have imported the four export files from that Azure Blob Storage. The third workflow is we are creating a stream table and inserting it and then pulling data. So we are basically trying to see how streaming works. In real scenarios, this would be done by using Kafka or some streaming platform, but here we are using tables for the demonstration purposes. Here we have simply created three tables. One is source table, the other one is destination table, and the version table. You'll get to know about this soon. And we are inserting one value, which is 0, into the version table. In insert stream, we are continuously updating, or we are inserting new rows into the source table continuously, because this is while true. That means it never ends until it's manually stopped. We are adding some dummy data, and after every iteration of while loop, array rows has about 1,000 dictionary objects, because we are running the for loop for 1,000 times, and then we are creating a data frame out of that 1,000 dictionaries and specifying the schema and then inserting it into the source table. So as the source table gets updated every time, let's run this function. So it's running. If I say pull, when I'm doing this, what happens is that the current version is the version that we're getting from that version table. Currently it's 0. Max version is the maximum version of currently that's available for the source table. And with this particular script, we are getting the data from that source table, starting from that particular current version, As you can see, we have specified starting version as current version here, and the source table we have mentioned. And then we are creating a write stream object which creates data stream writer object, and then we are specifying object checkpoint location where it stores the information about the stream, like what rows have been written and what rows have not been written. Using this function, using this option, it guarantees exactly once delivery of the rows from source to the destination table. And we have also mentioned the destination table. Output mode is append because we don't have any aggregations. If we had aggregations, the output mode should be complete, and the trigger is set once equals true, because otherwise by default it would trigger this code every 15 seconds and it would never come to this part of the code. And here, after this script is run, we are updating the current version table and updating the version to the max version, saying that until the max version, until this version number we have read. So the next time when you start running again, you'll start from that particular version that you're getting, and you'll get that value. So for example, if in first iteration this would be 0 and this would be 7. Let's say if it is 7, after this script, when it comes here, it updates the value from 0 to 7. And the second time when you're running it, the current version would be 7 and max version would be say 14 or something. So let's run this. And let's manually stop this for a second and see if all of the rows will be pulled or not. Let's run this again. Let's see how many rows are there in the source table. So there are 64,000 rows in source table, and let's see what's the case with destination table. It also has 64,000 rows, so this is how it works. And then this is the fun part. This is a taxi data set that we are importing from Azure Blob Storage, which is really huge. It has about 1.57 billion rows. So I don't want to run it again because it consumes a lot of time. It previously took 23 minutes. And so let's analyze what's happening. These are a few variables that we have initialized. Then this is a string that we are creating using the variables that are already specified. And we are setting a configuration of Spark. And then until here, we didn't extract the actual data. With Spark.read, we are starting to read from this particular path, which is wasps.path, and then we are writing that particular data frame and to a table. We are creating a new table called as taxi data. This is already done. This is how the sample data looks like. There is vendor ID. Vendor ID is the company's name, company of the taxi, and then pickup time, drop off time, number of passengers in the trip, the trip distance, start location, like latitude, longitude, and all of that, payment type, tip amount, total amount, and it has all of those details. Let's see how many rows are there in this taxi data. So there are about 1.57 billion rows. You can integrate from Power BI to Databricks and see. So here you can click on get data and click on more. Now you have to select Azure and click on Azure Databricks and click on connect. Here you'll have to fill in a couple of details which are available in Databricks and click OK. You would be popped up with a navigator. You can choose whatever you want, like the tables. And then, for example, here I've used this taxi data set to create visualizations.